Oh, yeah.
All right, so I'm from the Midwest, and a couple other guys from here I know are from the Midwest. We actually happen to be from Missouri. So bringing up the stage, the first guy, my co-host from St. Louis, defending St. Louis, Jeff Wesselschmidt, guys. And his opponent hails from KC, Kansas City, for those of you who don't know your abbreviations. His name is Danny Solomon. Give it up for Danny, guys. Fun, guys.
After you, Jeff.
Alright, first of all, these people live in New York City. They don't want to hear about Kansas City, Missouri. They want to hear about where they wish they lived. St. Louis, Missouri. Kansas City isn't even our rival, Chicago is. Kansas City's rival is Flourishville, Kansas. That's the town where people eat their own shit. We won Most Dangerous City 2 years in a row. That's exciting. It also means the cops got better shit to do than bust you for finger popping a 16-year-old. And they'll let you do it too, because St. Louis has a very high rate of teen pregnancy. That means everyone gets laid in high school. There's no nerds in St. Louis. It's God's favorite city. Kansas City has a lot of fountains. I guess that's because people there make a lot of wishes, namely that they live in another city. St. Louis, probably. We have the Arch. It's like 600 feet high. You go there on field trips. Let me ask you this. Where's the highest place you ever spit on a gay kid from? They shot... Chevy Chase's character, Clark Griswold, gets his hubcap stolen in St. Louis in the movie National Lampoon Vacation. They never shot a movie in Kansas City, not even the movie Kansas City. They shot that in St. Louis.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Skull on fire. Sword on fire. Elementary school on fire. These are all examples of common tattoos that you would find on human beings in St. Louis. Literally everyone in St. Louis talks like a baby with soup in its mouth. I have yet to meet someone who is from St. Louis who is not the angriest drunk I currently know. St. Louis is a dusty, ugly place that birthed Nelly. I actually have a list on my phone of all of the people from St. Louis who have ever achieved any kind of fame. Akon is one of them, as is Scott Bakula. Scott Bakula, someone asked who the fuck is that? Scott Bakula literally attempted to travel through time so that he would never have to live in St. Louis ever again. But in the past, constantly, never getting back to see his family because they were from St. Louis, and therefore, even the chicks are ugly dudes. I wanted to just throw that in there. I have no further in the opening statements, but I will defer to Jeff because I know that the next two rounds, on my part, are just going to be naming more people from St. Louis. And I'm really excited to save some of them, including the most famous comedian from St. Louis, who will surprise you.
Red Fox?
Cedric the Entertainer.
Guys, yeah, Nelly's a shitty rapper. He's the guy that said, "Is that your ass or your mama have reindeer?" That's right. Who's the best rapper from Kansas City? Tech 9. What does he do? All he does is answer the riddle, what if one of the fat boys ate the Micro Machines guy? Hot dogs, peanut butter, ice cream cones. What do all those things have in common? They'll probably be on the American flag in 10 years, yes. They were all found in dead Elvis's stomach, yes. And they were all introduced at the 1904 St. Louis World Fair. That's right, ice cream cones. The one food good enough to make you forget your parents are getting divorced. From St. Louis. What does Kansas City have? Barbecue. The one thing even retarded cavemen could cook. People from Kansas City are more attractive. Ladies, every man you've masturbated to in the last 30 years is from St. Louis. Brad Pitt, John Hamm, and motherfucking Scott Bakula. Ladies, or guys, we got something for you too. Jenna Fisher, who plays Pam on The Office, is from St. Louis.
She's on the list.
And who has bigger, more luxurious titties than St. Louis native John Goodman?
I'm not here to talk about Kansas City being great. Alright, we all know that it's a dirty shithole. Nobody more than me wishes that they weren't from there or had ever seen any part of that city. My real argument is that St. Louis is just a little bit worse. Mostly because every citizen that I've now ever met from St. Louis, who is currently living in New York, can quote Nelly lyrics. As was just exampled by Jeff quoting Nelly lyrics. If you'll excuse me, there are a few more of these guys. Cowboy Bob Orton from St. Louis. Emil Pretorius, journalist. Not very good. Joseph Pulitzer, inventor of the Pulitzer Prize. Very mean drunk. And there was one other one. Oh yeah, Phyllis Diller, who is now dead. I regret to inform you. She died earlier today. That's all. That's all I have. I will submit that St. Louis and Kansas City, I'm willing to admit, if it will end the bloodshed, St. Louis and Kansas City could be equal. Are you willing to admit that?
I would say my grandpa didn't die in the St. Louis-Kansas City War for me to admit that.
What was that, like 7 years ago?
Guys, for my closing arguments, I'm just going to read a little something from my favorite St. Louis poet. You can find me in St. Louis, rolling on dubs, smoking on dubs in clubs, blowing up like Cocoa Puffs, sipping bud, getting perved and getting dubbed, daps and hugs, mean mugs and shoulder shrugs, and it's all because humiliated, no A, enough shrugs. I'm going down, down, baby, yo, street in a Range Rover, street sweeper, baby, cocked, ready to let it go. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa, what? Listen to it pound. Light it up and take a puff. Pass it to me now.
Ike Turner. That was the one I forgot. Jeff, this was an honor. I hope your city burns to the ground, but you're a good guy.
Give it up for that guy. All right. So we got Jeff Wesselschmidt and St. Louis, I guess.
There it is.
Good job, guys. That is true. They're both shitty. That's why everyone's out here, actually. All right. Going back to stand-up if you guys are fine with that, right? You guys feel down for more show? All right. This guy, you guys are going to absolutely love, guys. One of the first guys I actually met when we got to New York a couple years ago. One of the nicest and funniest guys. Are you guys ready for him? Give it up for Neil Stasnik, guys.
Yes, what's going on, weirdos? Give it up for Michael Shockey, everybody, and all your great debaters.